Again, ketogenic dietary therapies, small little presentation just to let you know where we are. We now have 33 members from the different EpiCARE centres that have signed up to be part of the dietary work package, and we have 2 EPAD representatives. We have a presence on the website, so over this past year we've been, I've broken down information to the dietary part, and there's some general information we put on it there about dietary therapies that the Matthew's Friends organisation had already done that had been signed off by our medical board. So we wanted to put some information on there that there was downloadable dietary therapy information if anybody visited the site, but obviously as the EpiCARE group do more and more work, that will be replaced with more European guidelines. But our first deliverable that we were given was to do a list of European centres, which Eric Kossoff normally prepares all the lists for the ILAE, and I help him by providing the UK and Irish centres for that. So taking it one stage further, I took out all the European centres and prepared the list to go on our EpiCARE site. And then also I've just gone out now for updates, because hopefully as new centres throughout Europe are going to be added, obviously every year I can update the list, and then my aim is to have people be able to go and just punch in their country and then a full list of their centres come up without having to scroll down. So that was our first deliverable, which was done, and actually we're now doing updates on that. So I've just gone out to all the 33 group members asking for additional centres to be added, or are the details the same. And there's also a place on the website where people can email me any centre information as it changes and goes along. The next 2 deliverables we were given, I've sort of put in together, and this was outline of guidelines available and a work plan of the guidelines that are needed for ketogenic therapies. And I've asked each member of the group for what they use within their own centre or within their own country, so we can collate these. And also I've asked for their top 3 suggestions on what they would like to see or what they feel is the most important, so we can get a list together of what there needs to be worked on. I've given them a deadline for the end of this month to get back to me, so then I can feed back to the group and we can get that documentation prepared. And as soon as we have that back, then we start looking at deliverable number 3, which is producing guidelines for when and how ketogenic therapy should be utilised. And also we need this in different patient groups as well, because providing ketogenic diets for infants, children, adults may be different. We will use different types of diets. So can we call them guidelines? Can we call them recommendations? This is something that the group will discuss. So there needs to be a subgroup formed on this, which is what I'm asking people to come back to me for as well. The current status is that there were some infant guidelines done in 2016. Those are available and on site, and they've already been translated into French, and those will be available that we can use on the EpiCARE site as well. Don't kind of want to reinvent the wheel if we've already got them. And then we're looking at adult and child guidelines. We're a little bit further behind than I wanted, because I was waiting for the new paediatric consensus statement to be published, which was originally going to be published in the first quarter of this year, but apparently now isn't, and is going to be done in the third quarter of this year.
It's being submitted. The decision is, well, it's been submitted, and
yeah,
and then it's going through another submission.
Yeah. So the adult global consensus statement is currently being worked on, and I wanted to send the paediatric consensus statement out, but that was a little bit behind. So we're sort of now moving forward for the other guidelines. The thing with ketogenic therapies is that so much of this therapy is about education of the patient to make the treatment successful and tailoring the diet to the individual. So I think translation of any guidelines we produce into relevant country languages is going to be one of the most important tasks we can do. So it's chasing funding, and hopefully from charitable funding, we'll be able to get that done throughout for the countries, and then get each group in each country checking the guidelines, making sure the translations are correct and adapted for what their needs are for their families. Deliverable 4 was a manual for training. We have the Keto College programme for new families, which is led by Helen, and this is an annual training meeting. It will be quite simple to adapt those slides and those materials, which are reviewed every year, again for each country's uses, and translate those, which hopefully the subgroups will be working on. A manual, I think it's probably better if we do an online manual. It's easier to update regularly and make sure the information is current. And we are also in the process of filming tutorials, online tutorials, which means countries, countries, centres can gain access to those. And we're also developing training modules for dietitians in their own centres as well, so they'll be able to train other dietitians. So this is going on at the moment, but will be easily adaptable and to be used by EpiCARE as well. And this is where the subgroups will be looking at those to make sure that they are relevant for each country and where they need to be translated and what services or food values are being used in those countries, so we make sure each centre's got the relevant information. Deliverable number 5 is a bit further down the line, is protocols for clinical trials in specific diseases. This a subgroup needs to be done, and I've asked for volunteers to come forward. Ideally, I want it led by a physician. If I don't get any volunteers, then Dr. Andreas Brankhaus has got a really nice surprise coming his way, but don't tell him that. So that's basically where we are with the ketogenic diet package at the moment. So short little slide. The EPAG involvement, obviously we have to make sure everything is clear, concise, and easy for the patients to understand. As I said, most of ketogenic dietary therapies is about patients understanding what they have to do and tailoring it to the individual child and adult who's been treated. So that's what we're working on with the EPAG as well.
No need for questions, but Emma. Again.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think one of the things which came to my mind while you were talking is that in several work packages there is a need for guidelines, and we somehow have to embrace that all and coordinate it a little bit. So Federico is going to present the work package on guidelines. But what we have to do after this meeting is maybe to go to all of the work package leaders and say, are you planning to make guidelines, collecting guidelines? First, to avoid duplicate work, and second, to use a similar process. Not the same one, and there are, of course, different needs, but we need to streamline that a little bit, and I think it's very good to do that.
Thank you.